From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It is 5 o'clock here on your Monday morning. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Rafael Sanchez. Here are your headlines on this September the 28th.
And we understand that it's scary to come forward, and sometimes you're afraid. But this is somebody's brother, possibly someone's son, someone's friend.
A violent weekend in the Circle City leaves at least 3 people dead. The plea from police this morning.
Plus, today, Marion County will start easing some coronavirus restrictions. What you need to know about the new changes.
And giving back to her community. How one Noblesville woman plans to raise $30,000 for kids in need. Welcome back, or welcome to Good Morning Indiana, because Lauren's been on now for half an hour. Lauren, welcome back to you. It is great to see you back in Studio A. A big thank you to Nikki Griffin for filling in. The Colts win, and Alyssa Donovan is in for Todd Clausen. I mean, what a great week to start, what a great way to start the week.
That's how you do it. Yep. It is. And Rafael, I told you I was wearing coral today, and man, I like coral on you. That looks good. It looks very nice.
I think we should go to prom at some point. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. We've got to get to the forecast though. This is what people want to see. Maybe some rain on the radar.
Yes, you know, a much needed rain. You know, we've had drought-like conditions across central Indiana for much of the month of September. We haven't had the rainfall that we're supposed to typically get during September. So this is much needed rainfall, and we are going to see that in the next couple hours here and throughout the day today. We have this line of showers making its way into Indiana right now, starting to see some of those showers to the north and northwest of Indianapolis. We'll see that here in the next couple hours, and then we'll see scattered showers really throughout the day until the afternoon before we start to clear out for the evening. Looking at those temperatures falling off throughout the day. So we have that cold front moving through. It's going to take our temperatures down. We're seeing the warmest temperatures this morning in the 60s, and then we are going to drop into the upper 50s by the afternoon, and then overnight into the 40s. Also going to see some gusty winds with this. The good news behind this, some calmer conditions, and we are going to see some sunshine for the rest of the week. I'll have those details in just a few minutes.
Alyssa, thank you. Let's take a look right now at traffic as you're heading out on the roads. Good morning to you in Fishers. We're taking a look right now up in Hamilton County at your commute on I-69. This is a view near 106th Street where things are pretty quiet early this morning. A few cars making their way both northbound and southbound here. We'll continue to keep our eyes on your roads and let you know if there are any issues you need to avoid, any areas of construction, but right now things are pretty quiet. At 5:02, a new week begins with more pleas to stop the gunfire.
WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with the latest incidents raising concerns. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So as of last night, there have been 171 homicides in the Circle City in 2020 alone. Last year, 172 homicides for the entire year. So Indianapolis is pretty close to breaking that record for the most homicides. The latest shooting happening last night on the city's west side. The shooting happened just before 10 last night on Tremont Street. Police say a man was found dead at the scene. This morning, Metro Police say it's important that the community comes together to help solve these crimes.
You know, the information we get from the community is important. We know that people are hesitant, but we also know that people want to come forward. They want to talk about what happened in their community, and they want to make it better.
On Saturday, 2 other people were shot and killed in the Circle City. A man who was involved in a car crash near East 38th Street and North College Avenue appeared to be suffering from a gunshot wound. And later Saturday night, another man was found with a gunshot wound on West 29th Street. Both victims later died. Now, if you know anything about what happened in any of these 3 shootings or any shootings that have happened in 2020, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number again is 317-262-TIPS. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. We are working for you to help you find out more about what's going on in your neighborhood. You can learn more about each of this year's homicides and the status of each investigation with our interactive homicide map. You can find that at our website, WRTV.com/crime.
Let's turn now to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic and its impact here in our state. 921 new cases of COVID-19 were reported on Sunday. That brings the total number of Hoosiers infected with the virus to 117,450 since the start of the pandemic. More than 2 million people have been tested so far for the virus. 8.6% of those tests have come back positive. 3 new deaths related to COVID-19 were also reported, meaning since the pandemic began, 3,354 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. And a new study is looking at whether or not you need to quarantine for the full 14 days if you contract COVID-19. Researchers at the universities of Kentucky and Tennessee are finding out through testing. Quarantined people are getting tested on day 3, 5, 7, 10, and 14. If enough tests come back negative under 14 days, it may show that people could be isolated for a shorter period of time. Results from the study could be passed on to the CDC to help with those quarantine guidelines.
As concerns over a possible twindemic rise, healthcare professionals are urging you to get vaccinated before the flu season starts in just a couple of days. That's why Franciscan Health is holding several drive-through flu vaccine clinics over the next several weeks. Sunday, a clinic was held at the Franciscan Health Mooresville Medical Pavilion on Hadley Road. Several people came out waiting in their cars to take advantage of the opportunity to get that flu shot. Now, we talked to one woman who says it was quick and easy, and she's glad she got it done.
Just to keep ourselves healthy, we'd rather have a flu shot and not get the flu than to not be protected. I've gotten one every year for many, many years, so it's just routine.
Franciscan Health is holding clinics over the next several weekends in Greenwood, Carmel, as well as in Indianapolis. You need to bring your insurance cards to avoid other charges and dress appropriately to ease administration of that vaccine. Only patients 6 months and older can be seen.
At 5:06 today, businesses here in Marion County will begin to see some eased restrictions. So here's a look at what's changing. Restaurants and bars can operate at 50% capacity indoors and up to 100% capacity outdoors. Social distancing is still required. Museums, cultural, entertainment venues, and gyms, those can operate at 50% capacity. Live entertainment can resume at bars, clubs, and performance venues with social distancing and a 10-foot buffer between the stages and the audience. While this is a step forward, the county is moving at a much slower pace than the rest of the state. Mayor Joe Hogsett says that's because Marion County faces different challenges.
Because of the population density, our approach will differ from rural and suburban counties. Frankly, it would be irresponsible if it did not. However, our approach will always be guided by the best available data and the consultation of health experts.
For more details about Marion County changes and the statewide changes, you can go to WRTV.com. And as the pandemic continues to impact Hoosier lives in various ways, we want to put the focus on the people who are working together to give back and who are finding ways to help out their own community. Noblesville native Tanya Wilhite led a community effort this summer to raise $30,000 for the Noblesville Youth Assistance Program that supports at-risk kids through the Meals for Millers program. And she's not stopping there. Now her co-workers at a pharmaceutical company where she works are joining her efforts. This week is Global Patient Week, and all 30,000 employees are coming together to celebrate the patients they serve through the Move for Minutes campaign.
Everywhere around the globe, the Bristol-Myers Squibb employees and their families can either ride, bike, do whatever kind of movement they're comfortable doing, or volunteer. And for every minute Bristol-Myers Squibb employees and their families move or volunteer, BMS will donate $1 to the Global Red Cross to help those affected most by COVID. The people who are affected most by this really didn't have a choice to be in this position. And I'm very grateful that myself and my whole family were able to do this. We're able to give back.
So Tanya's sons will be swimming, she'll be cycling, and her husband will be walking to raise money. The goal is for employees to move 1 million minutes to raise $1 million in donations. Very cool. All right, if you're heading out for a walk or to get some exercise today, Alyssa, we haven't had to worry about rain in a while. So what do people need to know?
Yeah, and I know some people are saying, oh, I don't like when it rains outside, but here's the thing. We really need this rainfall. So just, get through today, and then we do have some drier days on the way this week. Right now, we have this line of showers moving into Indiana, moving into some of those northern counties. That's going to make its way into our area mid-morning here, and that's when we're going to see the bulk of this system moving through in the mid-morning and early afternoon hours. That's going to be our best chances of rainfall and our highest chances of those highest rates. We're looking at anywhere between 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rainfall, and then things will die down by the evening, and then tomorrow's going to be a drier day. Temperatures right now in the 60s. As we head into the afternoon, we're actually going to see those temperatures drop off. We'll be into the 50s by the noon hour and 57 degrees by 5 p.m. with mostly cloudy skies. So we're going to see kind of a change today in terms of starting with those temperatures a little warmer this morning and then dropping off by the afternoon.
Alyssa, thank you so much. Expanding the path to health sciences, the new program being offered by Indianapolis Public Schools and IU Health that can help jumpstart your students' career.
It looks like the popular TikTok app won't be going anywhere anytime soon. Up next, details on the new ruling that blocks President Trump's ban of the app. It's 5:10. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The time right now is 5:13. Here's a live look at traffic and our radar to start your Monday. You can see everything still dry here locally at I-465 and Man Road, but you can see the rain is on its way. Keep that in mind as you're driving throughout the day today. We probably have a lot of oils out there on the roads. Haven't seen rain in a while, so things could slicken up a little bit more than usual as we get some wet roads out there. Of course, we'll be keeping an eye on everything and let you know if there are any trouble spots to avoid. So President Trump's Supreme Court nominee stirring up some controversy as we approach the election. The president has promised the confirmation of Coney Barrett. We'll go quickly. The open seat was previously held by equal rights advocate Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and it has opponents worried that Barrett's conservative views will tip the court. This as it reviews cases involving things like health care and abortion access. A poll from Siena College and the New York Times shows 56% of voters believe the winner of the November election should be the one to fill the empty seat.
The president's nomination of Coney Barrett is getting the thumbs up from students at Notre Dame, where she teaches law.
When registration opens every year, her class fills up within seconds. And that's because people recognize that she really is at the top of her field.
It makes my experience as a law student, even better than what it's been the past few years. It puts the university, the law school at the university on an even bigger map than what it is now. It's something that, I think years and years from now, it's just going to have a very positive impact on not only me, but the whole community, the whole university.
The students say Judge Barrett has not discussed the nomination much with her classes, focusing primarily on her lecture material. She has not said what she will do with her teaching position if she gets confirmed by the U.S. Senate. Our Democracy 2020 continues this morning in Indiana. As you know, the deadline to vote is 1 week from today on October the 5th. Here are some key dates and deadlines that you need to remember as we move forward over the next several days. Election Day is November the 3rd. Early voting, that starts October the 6th. And if you plan to vote by mail, you must request an absentee ballot by October the 22nd and deliver it by November the 3rd. Let WRTV be your central source for all the information you need before November the 3rd. Go to our Vote in 2020 digital section. There you'll find everything that you need to know, including who is on your ballot, where can you vote and when, how early voting works and when it starts, what mail-in voting looks like, and any other questions that you may have this election season. Keep that tab open at WRTV.com/vote in 2020. Time now for your forecast on this Monday morning, and all the votes are in. Alyssa Donovan, we all want the rain.
Yes.
That's a unanimous vote. We all want the rain.
Well, and we're going to get it. We're going to get it throughout the day, Raphael, and that is good news for Indiana, which has been under those drought-like conditions for the past month or so. 63 right now in Indianapolis with cloudy skies to start. It feels like that. It's that humidity is rising a little bit. As you step outside, you might notice that those winds is what you really notice, though, is those winds are out of the northwest about 17 miles per hour. And then we're seeing those gusts up to 15 miles per hour. So it is a bit of a breezy start, and we're going to see a breezy day as this line of showers moves across the area. So what's going on is we have this cold front pushing across the Midwest right now. It's bringing this line of showers along with it. That's going to track into our area this morning, and that's going to stick with us throughout the day. So here's a look at TrueCast. Here we are right around 6 a.m. this morning. You can see starting to move into some of those western counties, and then we're going to start to see that tracking into central Indiana by the mid-morning, and then throughout the mid-morning and into the midday hours when we're going to see the bulk of that system moving through, with just some scattered lighter showers expected by the afternoon, clearing out by the evening, and overnight we'll see those temperatures drop off quite a bit because we are going to see a little bit of that cloud coverage clear out as well. So really quite a rain system moving through this area. We're looking at anywhere from a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of rainfall. Those higher totals are going to be for those northwest counties, and that's because we're already starting to see some of that rainfall happening there this morning. Here in Indianapolis, looking at closer to a 1/4 inch, maybe somewhere between a 1/4 and a 1/2 inch of rainfall. And look at our drought monitor right now. This is why it is good news we are seeing that rain. We are seeing a moderate drought just to the southwest of Indianapolis, and we are abnormally dry for most of central Indiana. So we really do need this rain. Could use a little bit more than what we're going to see today, and this is really the only chance of significant rainfall in the 7-day forecast. We could see some scattered showers by the weekend, but for the most part, this is going to be the bulk of our rainfall over the next 7 days. Looking at those wind gusts, those are going to peak by this afternoon right around 21 miles per hour. Those temperatures today are going to actually start falling off. So we're seeing the warmest temperatures this morning in those mid-60s, and then by the afternoon we'll be into the upper 50s just as that cold front continues to persist across central Indiana. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, cooler tomorrow as well. Highs in the mid-60s for most of the week. A little bit warmer on Wednesday, and that's just because we're going to see some more sunshine helping us warm up throughout the day. And then we are staying sunny and dry for most of the week. Those temperatures will start falling off this weekend, and then another small chance of showers happens on Sunday.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic right now on the northwest side. Good morning to you if you're traveling in from Boone County using I-65. Here's a look just to the northwest near 38th Street. I-65, a view from the pedestrian overpass. You can see traffic there is quiet moving northbound and southbound. No issues to slow you down. So let's take a look right now at I-70 over on the east side. This is a view near Midhofer Road. Traffic there picking up a little bit, as you can see by all the headlights on your screen. Everything's traveling smoothly, both eastbound and westbound. No major issues here to slow down your commute. But of course, we're going to keep our eyes on your roads, and we'll keep you updated this Monday morning. Raphael?
So, Lauren, a federal judge is allowing TikTok users to continue downloading the app for now. That could change. The ruling temporarily blocks the Trump administration's attempt to ban the platform from you. Now, TikTok is challenging the measure, saying it deprives the company of due process. The judge voiced a similar view during an emergency hearing held last night. The ban would have allowed the U.S. government to force stores run by Apple and Google to remove TikTok from their platforms. Now, the judge, however, did not block a much broader ban set to take effect on November the 12th, which could effectively make TikTok unusable in the U.S.
Well, Indianapolis Public Schools and IU Health are teaming up to launch a new healthcare fellowship at Crispus Attucks High School. The pilot program will build on the current nursing pathway and offer additional tracks for some in the most in-demand careers, including medical assistant and patient care assistant. Upon graduation, students completing this fellowship will receive a job offer from IU Health and tuition assistance to complete a related degree. The program will be available to freshmen currently enrolled at Crispus Attucks. Interested students can apply starting next semester. For more information, you can find that soon at myips.org.
Some terrifying moments for NFL Hall of Famer Joe Montana after a woman tries to abduct his grandson. After the break, how he was able to rescue that child.
And here's a live look right now at your commute over on the west side. This is I-465 near I-74 in Crawfordsville Road. No traffic issues here at this early hour. We'll continue to keep our eyes on your roads, plus your forecast for your Monday. That's all coming up here when we continue after the break. Stick around. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Raphael, terrifying moments for legendary football player Joe Montana and his wife. A home intruder allegedly snatching their infant grandchild.
And Lauren, this all unfolded on Saturday night. The LA Sheriff's Department says that a woman tried to kidnap Montana's 9-month-old grandchild from the living room of a Malibu home. Officers say she then walked upstairs where the Football Hall of Famer and his wife confronted her. Now, according to the Sheriff's Department, Mrs. Montana was able to safely pry the child out of that suspect's arms. Joe Montana then flagged patrolling deputies nearby. Moments later, deputies found the suspect, a 39-year-old woman, in a nearby home and arrested her. Last night, Montana tweeted this out: "Thank you to everyone who has reached out. Scary situation, but thankful that everyone is doing well. We appreciate respect for our privacy at this time." I'm glad that ended on a very good note, and we will give them the privacy that they need. As we now turn to our forecast, and Alyssa Donovan, my lawn is rain ready. What do you have for us on this Monday morning?
We have a lot of rain coming your way, Raphael. Your lawn is going to love the forecast today because we have showers moving into the area right now this morning into northwest Indiana. That's going to make its way into central Indiana in the next couple hours here. And as you head to work, we are going to see those scattered showers going to clear out by the late afternoon as you're heading home, but we're going to see those showers really throughout the day today. You can see the difference though. We're going to see those warmer temperatures this morning, and then we are going to see those temperatures dropping off by the afternoon, right around 57 by the evening hours, and then overnight we'll drop into the 40s, but we are going to see that change when it comes to those temperatures. That's due to that cold front sweeping through, taking some colder air into the area. The rest of the week we're going to continue to see those cooler temperatures, a little bit below average, but this is really the only day that we are going to see those showers in the forecast.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Just ahead here on Good Morning Indiana, it's been more than 7 years since Jessica Matzker's family last talked to her. At 5:30, the message they have for you as they hold on to hope that they'll someday find her. It's 5:27. We'll be right back.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
And it is 5:30 here. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. We don't want to waste your time. We want to get to the top story today that everyone's going to be talking about. And Raphael, you mentioned it. Your lawn is thirsty for some rain. I think we all agree with that here in central Indiana.
In fact, Lord, I went out to my lawn, dug up my time capsule. Alyssa, what is this? Is this a umbrella? What do you do with something like this?
Oh my gosh, you're such a nerd. Come on. It hasn't been that long. It actually has been quite some time. I'm glad you dug that up because you are going to need it today, Raphael. We are seeing those showers moving across the area this morning, starting to make its way into western Indiana right now with this line of showers. Seeing those across northwest Indiana as well. We'll start to see those in central Indiana in the next couple hours here. Our best chance of the heaviest rainfall is going to be mid-morning and into the midday hour before we start to see those rain chances drop off by the later evening hours. We're looking at anywhere from a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of rainfall, which is very good for us because we've been abnormally dry. We've had those drought-like conditions across central Indiana for the past month or so. So this rain is much needed. And if you don't like the rain, well, that's okay because we are going to see less rain for the rest of the week. This is really the only day we're going to see those rain chances. Right now, 62 in Indianapolis. As we head through the day, we're actually going to see those temperatures dropping off. So by the evening and afternoon hours, we'll be into the mid and upper 50s.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. And as we do get some rain finally here in central Indiana, just use caution on the roads as they get wet. We probably have a lot of oils out there that have been sitting on our interstates and streets. And so as the rain washes through, things could get a little bit more slick than what we're used to. So keep that in mind. Here's a look at an active construction zone south of downtown, I-65 and Keystone Avenue. That project is ongoing. However, traffic right now moving through the area is traveling up to speed, so that is great news. Taking you up to Hamilton County this morning, US 31 here, a view near Main Street in the Carmel area. You can see that traffic is traveling up to speed, both northbound and southbound. No issues here to slow you down, but of course we'll keep you updated. Raphael.
Lauren, at this pace, the capital city could soon break a homicide record. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson is live this morning with the latest investigations into what was a very violent weekend. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So in 2019, the city saw 172 homicides. And as of last night, we're at 171 homicides here in the Circle City just in 2020 alone. So it's very possible that we could break last year's record before October even gets here. So the latest shooting happening last night on the city's west side. The shooting happened just before 10 last night on the Tremont Street. And police say a man was found dead at the scene. And then on Saturday, 2 other people were shot and killed in the Circle City. A man who was involved in a car crash near East 38th Street and North College Avenue appeared to be suffering from a gunshot wound. And then later Saturday night, another man was found with a gunshot wound on West 29th Street. Both victims were pronounced dead, and then no arrests have been made in all 3 of these homicides.
However, these detectives are working around the clock. Some of them go home and sleep for a couple hours, come back in once they get a case. But they work constantly and diligently for the families that are involved.
Now, Officer Cook says it's imperative that the community, if they know anything, get involved in this investigation and let officers know what they know about these homicides, if they know anything. And of course, as always, if you do know anything about these cases, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
And Kelsey, this morning, state troopers investigating an officer-involved shooting in Vermilion County. And just before 4:30 Sunday morning, deputies in Terre Haute noticed a stolen car going well above the speed limit. The deputies started to chase the car, reaching speeds of nearly 120 miles per hour before ending on State Road 63 near Montezuma. Investigators say as the man got out of the vehicle, he started shooting at the officers. They returned fire, hitting the man. He was flown to an Indianapolis hospital. All of the officers involved have now been placed on administrative leave.
This morning, one person is dead, another in the hospital following a shooting up in Kokomo. Police say the shooting happened just before 5 o'clock Sunday morning near Fisher and Washington Streets. Investigators say several people started to fight following a hit-and-run crash. During the fight, gunfire killed 23-year-old Cody Kueffner and injured another person. One person was arrested on the incident on several charges, including manslaughter.
A man whose car went into a retention pond on the city's northeast side, he managed to get out of that vehicle safely. But then that man, he died after trying to help the tow truck driver retrieve the vehicle from that pond. Investigators say the man and the tow truck driver entered the pond early Sunday morning on Pendleton Way. They were trying to hook up his car to the tow when the man became distressed. The tow truck driver told investigators the man almost pulled him under the water, so he got out of the pond and called 911. This morning, the victim's name has not been released.
Well, 7 years later, an Indianapolis family remains hopeful that someone will help them find their loved one. Jessica Masker disappeared back in 2013, and on Sunday, her family gathered at Christian Park in Indianapolis, as they've done years before, to post flyers. Masker was last seen in the area of South Emerson Avenue and East Washington Street on April 15th, 2013. Their goal is to keep reminding people that they are still holding on to hope, and they need the community's help to find her.
We want her to know not to give up, because we have not gave up yet. So just know that we all love you. We all care about you. We have not stopped looking at all. We will not stop until you're home. My sister didn't just leave on her own, and whatever has happened or wherever she is, I just want her to know that we still got her. We still got her back, and we will never give up hope.
Well, Jessica's family said she was using drugs and in an abusive relationship before she disappeared. She was just 24 years old at the time. If you know anything about what happened to Jessica, please call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
Lauren, a local church wants to make a lasting change, a lasting difference when it comes to race relations in our community. iTown Church in Fishers has set its sights on being the change it wants to see in the United States. They started by teaching a Breaking the Cycle series, placing emphasis on acting as an ally for minorities and emphasizing diversity. Pastors Dave and Kate Summerall say they started this from just being open to having conversations with their staff on what progress looks like.
As we began to look across the landscape of our own church, we didn't have the diversity that would really reflect what heaven should look like. And so we began to systematically make changes that just very intentionally represent everybody from every culture and background so that everyone feels equally loved and celebrated.
In addition to that, the church has also made it their mission to help black businesses that were impacted during the protests.
It is 5:37. Let's turn now to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic and the impact it's having here in Indiana. State health officials confirmed 921 new coronavirus cases. That means since the pandemic began, more than 117,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for COVID-19. Health officials are reporting 3 new coronavirus-related deaths. Since March, more than 3,300 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. So this morning, we want to focus on how the virus is impacting Hamilton County. The county north of Indianapolis reports 4,900 cases since the pandemic began. 17 of the cases were reported on Sunday. 109 people in Hamilton County have died since this pandemic began. In the last 7 days, 5.3% of those tested have come back positive.
The Indianapolis Motor Speedway is preparing to welcome race fans back to the track later this week. It'll all be the first time all year that race fans will be inside the historic track at 16th and Georgetown. But before cars hit the track for the Harvest Grand Prix, IMS is gearing up for some news of its own. Track officials are expected to announce a new corporate sponsorship. The announcement is scheduled for 1 this afternoon. Make sure to download the WRTV app because we'll send a push alert as soon as we learn more about that situation. This morning, our Alyssa Donovan is tracking some rain in the forecast. Alyssa, it is great to see some green on that map.
Yeah, you know what? It's nice to have a busy radar for a change. We've had some quiet weather days over the past month or so, and we are in an abnormally dry condition when it comes to drought in Indiana. So this rain is welcome. It is much needed. We're looking at the potential for anywhere from a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of rainfall across Indiana today. All of that is coming from this system that's tracking across the Midwest right now. Starting to see some of those showers in some western counties this morning, and the northwest counties have been seeing that for the past hour or so. We're going to continue to see that spread to the east as we head into the afternoon, looking at the potential for the heaviest showers in the midday and early morning, and then we are going to see things kind of fizzle out as they head through the day with just some scattered spot showers this afternoon. We're going to see a high right around 57 by the afternoon. Really, we're reaching our highs this morning. So when I say our highs, that just really is our afternoon. Temperatures will be into the 50s. And then for the rest of the week, Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to continue to climb back a little bit into the 60s. That's still below average, but we are going to see drier conditions as we head towards the weekend.
And Alyssa, here's a look right now at traffic as folks are heading out the door this morning. I-465 and East 82nd Street on the northeast side where everything's traveling smoothly. We'll continue to keep you updated if there are any delays. Raphael?
The FDA issuing a new warning when it comes to a popular allergy medication. Still ahead on Good Morning Indiana, why health officials say teens are intentionally overdosing. That story and much more coming up right here on WRTV.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 5:43 on our Monday, and here's a look at traffic and the radar. We're going to see some rain that we haven't seen here in central Indiana in quite some time, so keep that in mind as you're heading out on the roads throughout the day today. Of course, we'll keep you updated on the timing of that and any issues for your commute. Raphael?
Lauren, this is quite the bombshell. It appears that the president's tax returns are no longer secret. The New York Times releasing the information to the public on Sunday. Some major takeaways. When Mr. Trump took office back in 2016, he paid just $750 in federal income tax. That's according to the New York Times. It was the same for the following year as well. He reportedly paid no income tax in 10 of the last 15 years because he reported losing more money than he made. The president, as you know, has largely built his campaign around being a successful businessman. In fact, in 2016, a poll from Gallup showed that his Republican supporters cited his business experience as a reason why they supported him.
At 5:45, the 2020 census count will continue past the end of September. A federal judge ruled the original finish date of October 31st should be reinstated. Last month, the Commerce Secretary moved the deadline, citing concerns over safety with COVID-19. Several civil rights groups sued, saying that the shortened count would lead to more inaccurate count. The census, we know, plays a key role in the way funding is allocated to states and communities. And so we want to remind you, you need to take part in the census by mail, phone, or online. The number is 844-330-2020. If you prefer to respond in Spanish, you can call 844-468-2020. The website is 2020census.gov.
And new data this morning indicates that military suicides have gone up during this pandemic. Compared to last year, 20% more military personnel have taken their own lives. Some incidents of violent behavior among service members has also spiked, according to this new report. Army and Air Force officials say the initial data shows the stress of the pandemic may be to blame. They also say war zone deployment, natural disasters, and civil unrest could be contributing factors to this situation. Senior Army leaders say they're looking into shortening combat deployments as an effort to improve soldiers' mental health. If you or anyone you know is talking about suicide, know that there is help available 24 hours a day. You can call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, again, 24 hours a day. Here's the number, 1-800-273-TALK.
It is 5:46, working for you now. We're alerting you to a new warning surrounding an allergy medication that you probably have on your shelves at home. The warning from the FDA over Benadryl comes as a number of teens are now in the hospital for taking too much of it. Health officials say the teens are taking part in the Benadryl challenge on TikTok. The FDA says taking too much Benadryl can lead to issues like seizures and heart problems. It can also be deadly. This morning, the FDA is asking TikTok to take down any videos of people taking part in that challenge.
Lauren, this morning, more fires out west. A new wildfire, this one in Redding, California, forcing residents out of their homes. And you can see why. This is the Zog fire, which started just before 4 yesterday afternoon. This video shows a time lapse of just how quickly the flames spread in this area. Take a look at this. At this hour, that fire has burned 7,000 acres. So far, firefighters say it's a 0% containment situation. But as you can see, Alyssa, they could use some light rain throughout all of California, right, just to help them out with those efforts to douse those flames.
They could definitely use some rain. We can use some rain, and luckily we are getting it here in the Midwest this morning. Starting to see these showers moving into the area, moving into Rockville and Greencastle this morning, right into Terre Haute along I-70 just to the south of Indianapolis, making its way into Indianapolis shortly. And we are starting to see some heavier showers and bands moving across some of those extreme northwest counties this morning, right through I-65 and into Monticello. So keeping an eye on this system, not expecting any severe weather with this at this time, just expecting some of those showers throughout the day, scattered showers in nature. That's all coming from this line that's just ahead of a cold front that's going to impact us for the next couple days. What it's first going to do is bring us these showers, which is much needed across the area, and then behind that some cooler air as well. So we are going to see some changes over the next few days here. Looking at our TrueCast, you can see moving into those western counties already this morning, and a few scattered showers just down to the south of us, and then we're going to continue to see the heaviest bands of showers moving through by the mid-morning and midday hour, and then by the afternoon and evening, these will become very scattered in nature, where we'll just see maybe a chance of a spot or stray shower by around 5 or 6 p.m. before things completely drop off with this system as it continues to push off to the east, and we'll see some calmer and cooler conditions behind it. So what we're expecting with this is the potential for anywhere between a quarter to a half an inch of rainfall. Those higher totals are expected along those northwest counties where we're already starting to see some of that rainfall. And this, as I said, much needed. This is our current drought conditions across Indiana. We have spots that are in a moderate drought right around Terre Haute, and then most of us are in that abnormally dry condition. We have not seen much rain for September, really less than 1/10 of an inch of rainfall at our last check. And winds are going to peak a little bit today as well. We're seeing some gusty winds this morning. Winds right now out of the north about 17 miles per hour. We're going to continue to see the potential for those gusts to reach up to 20 miles per hour just as that system continues to push across the area. Looking at those temperatures today, you'll notice they're actually going to drop off, and that's just because of that cold front moving through. So while our highs are expected to be right around 61, we're really hitting those right now, and by the afternoon it'll be more in the 50s. Looking for the rest of the week, really that's our main chance of substantial rainfall. Small chance on Sunday. Besides that, mostly sunny skies for the rest of the work week.
All right, Alyssa, thanks. And we're taking a look to our west. We're trying to catch any raindrops that could make their way here to central Indiana. Things look pretty dry still here on I-70, just a little west of State Road 39 in the Monrovia area. Traffic is picking up, as you can see, both eastbound and westbound, traveling up to speed, so that is great news. Stick around. We'll have more news, weather, and traffic for you coming up just after the break. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. So nearly 7,500 fans sat inside Lucas Oil Stadium for the Colts game against the Jets.
And Lauren, this morning, our Brad Brown shows us how a lot of little things helped the Colts with a big win.
The Colts expect to win every week, but this Sunday, pretty much everyone else expected Indy to win over the Jets, a team in disarray through the first two games. It took a couple of possessions to get things dialed in, but once the Colts settled down, it was a very dominant day. 36-7 the final, the most impressive of Indy's 3 games to start the season.
All that matters is that we score one more point than the other team, so I'd like them to keep this up. Obviously, the standards are high, and the expectations are high. So, but it's play good football, play winning football, whatever that takes, whatever it takes to win the game.
Phillip Rivers put together a third straight solid, although underwhelming numbers-wise, performance. Just 21 attempts, only 217 yards, but he only missed on 4 passes, over 80% completion again.
It's always been about winning and always about the team, and it still is and always has been. I mean, there was a time in Athens, Alabama, we threw it 7 times in a playoff game where you could have thrown in a bunch when college coaches were there, and it ended up like, we didn't throw the ball. It's like, Dad, let's keep running it. They can't stop it.
Running back Jonathan Taylor found the end zone, part of a day that saw the Colts accumulate 119 yards on the ground.
Those short yardage situations, I mean, whether we're on the goal line or whether we're midfield, those got to have the situations. We always talk about in the running back room. You just got to find a way. And that's one of the biggest things. And luckily, they always say, you can handle one man. And that's just the biggest thing. So if you see that man, crashing down hard, that's something you have to do.
The defense shines for a second straight Sunday. Xavier Rhodes started the afternoon with his first career pick-6 touchdown. That would be the first of 2 interceptions on the day for the Colts' most experienced secondary defender. TJ Carey was another new addition to the Colts D this season. He got a pick-6 of his own to close out the third quarter. That would take away any doubt about the result and also put on notice all of the teams coming up next to face this Indy defense.
Hustling is a part of interceptions and making big plays. And then the interception drills, we always do tip drills, going up and getting the ball drills, distraction drills. Those are things that we consistently do.
Having a pick 6, putting points on the board on the defensive side of things, helping the offense out. And also the second pick is stopping them from scoring, putting points on the board. So both was major, both was big to help the team.
The Colts continued one of the more impressive streaks in the NFL this season. Through the first 12 quarters, the offense has had 0 3-and-outs for a punt. They're the only team in the league to do that at this point. It gets a little more interesting with the next 2 on the road, including a trip to Chicago, as the Bears are 3-0. That'll be a good one for Week 4 to start the month of October. At Lucas Oil Stadium, Brad Brown, WRTV Sports.
Hey, Brad, thank you so much. And here's a soccer play worth seeing again and again. The University of Guadalajara and the Pumas Tabasco playing in the final 20 minutes of Sunday's match. Can you hear me? Because they're loud. The free kick is sent to Jose Ricardo Galindo Gutierrez, who headbutts it in with Jacob Eduardo Morales Zenon, who gets the goal with a sweet kick. That kick would help Guadalajara finish the game tied. And Alyssa Donovan, who needs an alarm clock when you have those amazing announcers yelling, "Go!"
Yeah, any of our viewers that weren't quite awake yet, I think that we just covered it for them with that last story.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty loud. And we are going to hear some rain showers today for a change, just as we are waking up this morning, starting to see some of those showers tracking into those western counties, the southwest counties and the northwest counties. We're looking at anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rainfall as this system moves through. Today, starting with those temperatures in the 60s this morning, and then we'll be in the 50s by the afternoon as you're heading home. Scattered showers this morning, and then we'll clear out later today. We'll be right back.